Class 239, welcome. Are you there? Are you there? Are you with me? Class 239, all right. Every day I grow. Yesterday I grew. Lately I've grown. Grown. Richard, how many centimeters have you grown this year? I haven't grown any. I'm shrinking. I'm the incredible shrinking man. Honey, I shrunk the English teacher. I'm shrinking. So I haven't grown this year. Intellectually, maybe. Maybe I've grown intellectually. Have you grown intellectually this year? But Richard, yes. Has your company grown this year? No, this year my company hasn't grown. Oh, what's the problem? Why hasn't your company grown this year? My company hasn't grown this year because of the coronavirus. Oh, very few companies have grown this year. The sales have fallen. The sales haven't gone up or grown. They have fallen because of the COVID-19 or coronavirus this year. Okay. But Richard, have your children grown this year? No, physically they haven't grown. Intellectually, I hope so. I hope they have grown. Richard, how many pencils did you buy yesterday? I didn't buy any pencils yesterday. And so far today, I haven't bought any pencils so far today. Well, how many taxis did you catch yesterday? I didn't catch any taxis yesterday. And so far today, I haven't caught any taxis so far today. And how many, let's see. How many presidential candidates did you choose last year? I didn't choose any. I've never personally chosen a presidential candidate. In the United States, the political parties choose their candidates. And how do they choose them? They choose them through primary elections and a convention. And how many candidates do they choose? Well, every 4 years they choose one. And do they choose a vice presidential candidate? Well, usually the presidential candidate chooses the vice president, the candidate they choose. So you personally don't choose. No, I vote, yes. So directly I choose, but many times my choice doesn't win, you see. I vote. I'm only one person. And 140 million people vote in the United States or more. So my vote doesn't count. Come on, Richard. Yes, it does. Your vote always counts. No, my vote really doesn't count. Come on. That's not right. Richard, your vote counts. Listen, I'm from Texas. Now, Texas normally votes Republican. Okay. And so, all of the electoral votes from Texas go to the Republican candidate. And normally the candidate wins by a big margin. The election is not close. Close, como cerca, próximo, también significa reñido. En este caso, unas elecciones muy reñidas. In that case, yes, my vote counts in Texas, if it's very, very close. All right, every day I choose. Yesterday I chose. Lately I've chosen. Every day, the prices go up. Yesterday they went up, and lately they have gone up. Every day I deal with difficult people. Yesterday I dealt with one person especially difficult. And lately I've dealt with a lot of difficult people. To deal with people. Every day I drink wine. Yesterday I drank a glass of wine. Para una copa de vino se dice vaso in English, glass. Yesterday I drank a glass of wine, and I have drunk wine every day for the past 40 years probably. Every day I drive my car. Yesterday I drove my car, and lately I've driven my car every day. Every day I eat something. Yesterday I ate something, and lately I've eaten something. How many watermelons have you eaten so far this month? I haven't eaten any watermelons so far this month. How many steaks have you eaten? Steak. Un filete de vacuno, un corte de carne de vacuno se dice steak. Por favor, no digáis stick. Lo he mencionado antes. Stick es un palo. Stick. Aquí se dice stick. Incluso en un restaurante, stick tartar. Se dice steak. Steak. Se escribe steak, vale, pero se puede steak. A, B, C, primera letra. The first letter in the alphabet, A, steak. How many steaks have you eaten so far this month? I've eaten maybe 3 steaks so far this month. How many bags of Fritos have you eaten so far this month? I haven't eaten any bags, bolsas de fritos. I haven't eaten any bags of Fritos so far this month. Okay. How many books have you read so far this month? From start to finish, completely, I haven't read any books. Are you reading any books now? Yes, I'm reading 2 different books. Have you finished them? No, I haven't finished them yet. Are you still reading them? Yes, I'm still reading them. Did you read them yesterday? I read one of them yesterday. How many pages did you read? I read only 3 or 4 pages. Only 3 or 4 pages yesterday. Why did you read only 3 or 4 pages? Because I fell asleep. Well, I didn't fall asleep. I started falling asleep. So I marked the book and closed it. I marked the book with a bookmarker and closed it. I closed the book because I was falling asleep. And why were you sleepy yesterday? Was the book boring? No, the book wasn't boring. I was sleepy. And why were you sleepy? I don't know. It was after lunch. Did you have a big lunch? No, I didn't have a big lunch, but I was sleepy in the afternoon. Did you take a nap? No, I didn't take a nap. Why not? Why didn't you take a nap? Because I usually don't take naps. Have you ever taken a nap? To take a nap is echarse la siesta, o sea, dormir una siesta. Se dice tomar una siesta. Así se dice en inglés. To take a nap. Richard, have you ever taken a nap? Ever significa alguna vez en mi vida. Well, of course, I've taken a nap many times in my life. When was the last time you took a nap? The last time I took a nap was probably 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. I took a cat nap. A what? I took a cat nap. Gato siesta. Sí, la siesta del gato. I took a cat nap. Richard, what's a cat nap? A cat nap is a power nap. A power nap? Yes. What's a power nap? Es una siesta de repotenciación. What's that? Listen, a cat nap or a power nap is a very short nap. 5 minutes, 10 minutes maybe. Those kinds of naps, when you wake up, you have 3-4 hours of energy. That we call that a power nap. If you take a nap for 2 hours, you're sleepy and groggy the rest of the afternoon. But a 5-minute, sometimes in Spanish, I think you say una cabezada. Yes, These give you a new power. New power. All right. Every day I take. Yesterday I took. Lately I've taken. To take, took, taken. Every day I take an aspirin. Yesterday I took an aspirin. And lately I've taken aspirin every day. But is it true? Do you take aspirin every day? No, I don't. When was the last time you took an aspirin? Una aspirina, eh? Not a pain reliever. The last time I took an aspirin was about 1 month ago. Did you take one or two? I took only one. Did you take it with water? Yes, I took it with water. All right. And did you hold a meeting yesterday? No, I didn't hold a meeting yesterday. Did you hold a meeting last week? Yes, I held one meeting last week, video conference meeting. How many meetings have you held so far this week? So far this week I haven't held any meetings. Last week I held one meeting, but so far this week I haven't held any meetings. How many classes did you give last week? Last week I gave 5 classes. How many classes have you given so far this week? So far this week I've given 2 classes. How many telephone calls did you make yesterday? Yesterday I made only 1 telephone call. How many calls have you made so far today? So far significa tan lejos. Sí, pero también significa hasta ahora. Well, so far today I haven't made any telephone calls. It's too early in the morning. Yeah. And how many calls did you receive yesterday? Yesterday I received only 1 call. Come on, only 1. Nobody calls me. And why doesn't anybody call you? Excuse me? Why doesn't anybody call you? Well, nobody calls me because maybe I'm not popular. Oh, Richard, yes, you are. Well, nobody calls me because I have trained people to contact me through email. So people don't call me. Don't you like to talk to people? Sometimes. Don't you like people, Richard? Yes, I like people. Okay. But I prefer to speak to people face to face and not on the telephone. I don't like the telephone very much. So, one person called me yesterday. And how many telephone calls have you received? Have you received so far today? I haven't received any telephone calls so far today. How many hours of English, Richard, did you teach last month? Wow. Well, let's see. Last month there were 20 days, 20 working days. Last month there were 20 working days. I gave 3 hours of English class on the radio, not on television, every day. So that's 60 hours. Last month, you say, last month, yes? All right. And there were 20 days here for half an hour. So that's 10 hours. So last month, I gave 60 hours on the radio, plus 10 hours on television, plus 1 master class in a university for 1 hour. So last month I gave 71 hours of class. And how many hours have you given? Have you given so far this month? I don't know, because I don't know what day this class falls on. This class is pre-recorded, so I really don't know. But let's say, enlacemos, let's say, digamos quedado, let's say I've given, between radio and television, let's say I've given 33 hours of class so far this month. So far this month. And Richard, yeah, how many people did you hit last month? I didn't hit anybody last month. And so far this month, I haven't hit anybody. Hit, hit, hit. Every day I hit. Yesterday I hit. Lately I've hit. How many fights did you have last month? Verbal fights or physical fights? Both. Last month I didn't have any fights. And so far this month, I haven't had any fights so far this month. I haven't had, no he tenido. I never have fights. Come on. Or arguments. When was the last time you had tuberculosis? I've never had tuberculosis. You never had what? Tuberculosis. Tuberculosis. Yeah, I've never had tuberculosis. When was the last time you had polio? Poliomyelitis. I've never had polio. When was the last time you had typhus? I've never had typhus. Typhus. Yeah, I've never had typhus. When was the last time you had typhoid fever? I've never had typhoid fever. When was the last time you had Malta fever? Fiebres de Malta, se dice en inglés Malta fever. Hombre. I've never had Malta fever. When was the last time you had yellow fever? Ande con los fevers, eh? I've never had yellow fever. When was the last time you had malaria? I've never had malaria. When was the last time you had scurvy? Scurvy? How do you, what does scurvy mean? What does scurvy mean? What does scurvy mean? What does scurvy mean? How do you say scurvy? How do you say it in Spanish? Escorbuto. No, I've never had scurvy. And when was the last time you had cholera? El cólera. I've never had cholera. When was the last time you had chicken pox? Ande, ya está, okay, por fin. Chicken pox. Chicken pox de pollos. ¿Eso qué es chicken pox? No, chicken pox is varicela. Okay, the last time and only time I had chicken pox was when I was, I think, 7 years old in Houston, Texas. And when was the last time you had smallpox? Chicken pox, smallpox? What does smallpox mean? What does smallpox mean? How do you say smallpox in Spanish? Viruela. No, I've never had. I've never had smallpox. And when was the last time you had the measles? I've never had the measles. Knock on wood. Los americanos decimos, toca madera. By the way, measles means sarampión. Measles. The Americans say, toca madera, we say knock. The British say, como los españoles, touch wood. Touch wood. I've never had measles. Knock on wood. I've never had measles. Knock on wood. And when was the last time you had, I don't know, a headache? The last time I had a headache was 2 days ago. When was the last time you had a liver problem? Liver, de hígado, liver se escrito. I've never had a liver problem. When was the last time you had a heart condition or a heart problem? I've never had a heart problem. And Philip Johnson, when was the last time he had polio? He's never had polio. I've never had polio either. And she, his wife, she's never had polio either. I've never had malaria. He's never had malaria. And she's never had malaria. So, we've never had malaria. None of us has had malaria. None of us has ever suffered malaria. I've never been to Argentina. Philip's never been to Argentina either, and neither has Nancy. Neither has she. None of us has been to Argentina. Okay. Now, he's never had a heart problem. No, he's never had the gout. The gout? What does that mean? What does gout mean? The gout. The gout is what Charles I, the Spanish king, you remember? Quinto de Alemania? Charles I suffered the gout. And his son, Philip II, suffered the gout. Yes. Hombre, será la gota? Yeah. Too much uric acid, yes. Philip has never had the gout. I've never had the gout. And Nancy has never had the gout. She's female. It's impossible, I think. So, we've never had the gout. Neither him, nor her, nor me. Neither him, nor her, nor me. None of us has had the gout. Yes, now, I've never flown in a helicopter. Have you? And Philip has never flown in a helicopter either, nor has Nancy. So, neither has she. None of us has flown in a helicopter. But all of us, all three of us, have flown in airplanes. And have you ever flown in a private plane? Yes. Have you? Yes. So, all three of us have flown in private planes. Yes. I've flown in a private plane. So has she, and so has he. All right. So, all three of us. But none of us has flown in a helicopter. All right. Philip Johnson has never been to Spain. He's never been here. And Nancy has never been here either. And their children have never been here either. So the Johnson family has never been to Spain. They've never been to Spain. I've been to 33 countries in my life. I've been to Spain. I've been to Portugal. I've been to France. I've been to the United Kingdom. I've been to Ireland. That's 5. I've been to Peru. I've been to Mexico. I've been to the Dominican Republic. I've been to Nassau. I've been to the United States. And I've been to Canada. That's 11 in the Western Hemisphere. And that's 11. I've been to China. I've been to Israel. I've been to Egypt. I've been to Morocco. I've been to Germany. I've been to Austria. I've been to Switzerland. I've been to Italy. I've been to Greece. I've been to Turkey. I've been to Israel. Te lo dije. I said that before. I've been to Finland. I've been to Russia. I've been to Monaco. I've been to San Marino. I've been to Gibraltar. Okay. I've been to many, many places. All right. But I've never been to Honduras. I've never been to Costa Rica. I've never been to a Central American country. I've never been to Argentina, nor to Uruguay, nor to Chile. I've never been to those, nor to Paraguay, nor to Bolivia. So I've never been to the countries in the southern half of South America, and I've never been to Brazil. I've never been to Brazil. In South America, I've only been to Peru and to Colombia. Escucha, I've only. Antes decía I've always. ¿Recuerda? I've always come here by car. I've always. Ahora, si usamos solo he estado en Colombia y en Perú, I have only been. In South America, I have only been to Colombia and to Peru. Ahora, digámoslo de forma fonéticamente seguida. I've only been. In South America, I've only been to Peru and to Colombia. In Africa, on the African continent, I've only been to Morocco and to Egypt, I think, yeah. And in Asia, I've only been to China and to Israel. Yeah. I've only been to China and Israel. I've been to Russia, but to the European part of Russia, not the Asian part of Russia. Now, I've been to Turkey, and I walked across the famous bridge to the Asian side of Istanbul. I've been to Istanbul twice. And on the first trip in 1973, January, I was in Istanbul on the European side, but I walked across the bridge to Asia. So, I've only been to 3 countries, to China, to Israel, y por los pelos, and by the skin of my teeth. Curiosa expresión en inglés. Por la piel de los dientes. Claro, los dientes no les tienen piel, pero se dice en inglés, by the skin of my teeth means por los pelos. By the skin of my teeth, I've been to Asian Turkey, to Asia Minor. All right. Places I've been to, places I've never been to. Well, I've never been to Spain, but I've been to Oklahoma, and they tell me I was born there, but I really don't remember. In Oklahoma, in Arizona, what does it matter? What does it matter? I've been to many countries, but ¿qué importa? What does it matter? The important thing is your English, so study.